Hey viewers, I'm Avatar Nut 4 here with another video. Just like in my books 1 and 2 review of Avatar Last Airbender, my brother is joining me to help review book 3 Fire.
This season is, I think both of us can agree, the best of all these seasons. Really starting off, you can see the maturity of your characters. It's not so much apparent just by watching the season, but if you watch the series as a whole again, and you go look back at where they all started, you can see a shift in the characters, the maturity, and how their experiences shape them.
You can definitely see how much Aang has learned and grew throughout the series.
He's the one that changes the most. You see him starting off as this silly little kid. Yeah, he still has those childish elements. And he doesn't even know about this war at all. And then by the end of this entire series, he becomes the one to restore this
save the world
balance into the world, and he's a fully realized Avatar. He has accepted this role, and he's become this person who is going to guide the world in the future.
Okay, also in this season, you see, like in the book 2 review, Zuko returns home with Azula because he helped her defeat Aang. And he returns to the Fire Nation, but again, he's still it's not like he thought it would be. Even though he has his honor back, he's back home with his father. It's just not like he wanted to be.
Which, again, as I said, since he chose to side with Azula, even though you see that his allegiance is becoming, there's somewhat of a mystery there, he realizes it's not exactly what he thought it would be, getting back to the Fire Nation, and he wonders if he made the right choice. Meanwhile, our central characters, Aang and his friends, are just basically riding out the storm that happened after the incident in Ba Sing Se, I guess. The whole world thinks he's dead.
Yeah. And they kind of lost hope.
Yeah. And it really upsets Aang because
it's like
he's accepted. He looks at the fact that he failed the world by not being there when the Fire Nation started the war, and he looks at it now that way as if he has failed again by virtually being killed and being saved, and he's let the world down as he sees it.
In this season, you see them. Well, since the Fire Nation is their greatest enemy, they're kind of wondering how will they learn firebending. They're kind of going through the Fire Nation.
Yeah.
Kind of hoping.
He realizes there's this element that he still needs to learn.
But it's going to be really hard.
It's part of his role. He has to do it.
The enemy is Fire Nation, so you couldn't really.
Nation. So what are you going to do here? Really, he gets lucky. Because Zuko, well, first of all,
a big part of this season is called the invasion.
Yes. Aang decides that he's going to confront the Fire Lord as is. He doesn't have to learn this last bending style. He can do it just using the 3. And based on what the characters learn in Season 2, there's going to be a solar eclipse for which, during the time of this eclipse,
the Firebenders lose all
power. So they put together this small force of friends they've made throughout the series. We see characters coming back that we haven't seen, and you really think this is it. They're gonna go and they're gonna finish this off.
But it doesn't.
But things don't really go to plan.
It turns out Azula, Princess Azula, she
She learns of the plan, basically.
Yeah, and
so when they come to fight, they achieve some success, and
then
Aang goes to find the Fire Lord and fight him, but
Azula.
they're gone. Everyone basically is gone, and they've went to this bunker, and they're safe during this eclipse. And after what success they do have, they realize that they're going to have to just basically retreat and live to fight another day. So we see here again some group of characters go off on their own again.
Yeah.
To try to go back to this old plan of finding Aang a firebending teacher. And as it turns out, when Zuko is trying to determine his allegiance, it turns out he decides that
he wants to join them.
he wants to. He's not good. Bad. He wants to be good. He thinks the best way for him to do this is to go teach Aang firebending, which again, Aang's basically lucky in finding a firebending teacher. There's some trouble they go through trying to get him to the group. I mean, he's been after them.
So it kind of took him a while to fully trust him.
Yeah, but when he does, after some struggle, Aang does learn firebending. He does, certainly I wouldn't say masters it in the time, but he does learn it.
He knows the basics.
And as you come into this finale, where the comet, which has been mentioned in the first season, is the comet has arrived basically, and the Fire Lord is going to use it to destroy the world, essentially.
This comet, it only comes once every 100 years. It's what the Fire Nation used to wipe out the air nomads. It gives them ultimate power above all other bending. So he decided, hey, let's end the world.
They're going to utilize this ultimate weapon to basically just smash everything else to pieces and end this war. So Aang, he's going to have to confront the Fire Lord despite that he
has enhanced bending.
He hasn't mastered this fire bending, and frankly, his bending is not at its peak level yet, and he can't even get into this avatar state, as we mentioned in the Season 2 review. So, he goes to fight him. There's this whole plan where our characters split up, basically, to defeat these separate but important entities of the Fire Nation to knock them out.
Zuko and Katara joined together to defeat Azula, and so Zuko can become the next Fire Lord.
Can assume leadership of this nation after it's been defeated, and we see Sokka and Toph,
Suki,
along with Suki, who is a Kyoshi warrior, as we mentioned in the first season, coming back again. You see the recurring character here. They're going to take out the rest of this airship fleet the Fire Nation's going to use to take out the rest of the world, destroy the world, basically. And Aang is
dealing with the Fire Lord.
Going to take out the Fire Lord, because it's his ultimate destiny
and goal. He knows that he's the only one that could stand a chance against him. So
we see success on all these fronts. We have a massive fight between the Fire Lord and Aang, which, for half the fight, it doesn't even look like it's going to go Aang's way.
Yeah, it looks like he's really failing.
And then he gets hit, and it looks like everything is all going to go wrong. And he gets hit, and his scar from where he got shot in the back with lightning, when he gets pushed into this rock after he's attacked by the Fire Lord,
he gets like this charge.
It goes into that spot where he was hit, and it reopens.
Yeah.
Allows him to go back into the Avatar state.
Which he
Once
does.
He's there, he just starts...
Kicks the Fire Lord's butt.
Yeah, he's pulling out awesome crap.
And the Fire Lord's like, oh crap.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh dang. And he ends up going to winning. We see him master this Avatar state in this time before this fight. He doesn't even take the Fire Lord's life. There's one problem. He building up to this fight. He doesn't want to kill him. It's against his morals, basically.
Yeah.
And he finds a way not to do that.
He learns how to take a person's bending away without killing them.
Yeah.
Which
He does to the Fire Lord, and we see Azula defeated by Zuko and Katara, and the Order of the White Lotus, which is this secret group that's sort of mentioned throughout the whole series.
It features a lot of masters.
These old masters, these characters we've seen throughout the entire show are back, and they're part of this order, and they liberate the Earth Kingdom capital
and take it back in the name of the Earth King.
Yeah, and you see that evil has been defeated now, and
all thing is good.
Zuko becomes the new Fire Lord, and
starts an era of peace and kindness.
The Avatar and Aang and Zuko are going to rebuild the world into this new era where everything is balanced and they're at peace.
Then Aang and Katara, they confess their love for each other and end up together. That's how it ends.
Wow,
a happy ending.
I don't know if it's that much, but this slight romance you see that's gradually going with them throughout the first 2 seasons. You see at the invasion, there's actually this kind of peak in it, and it's kind of like after that you begin to creep a little doubt into where they're not going to end up. And that's how this series comes together and concludes with that as an end. This bright new dawn of a new era, and
everything is good.
Everything's good in the world, and everything, you see the payoffs. Every character, all these characters are mentioned, that you've seen, these events that you know are going to take place, it all comes together, and it's all wrapped up. This series concludes and becomes a really good ending to the story.
It's a great ending. A great conclusion, too. And ties everything together perfectly, I think. And
I guess that wraps up our Season 3 review of Avatar. Series review of Avatar. So, feel free, make sure you can watch our other season reviews if you haven't. The last Airbender movie review, which we have done. Feel free to comment. We're open to whatever. Please be nice with your criticisms, whatever you have. Any suggestions how we can improve. We'll try to make sure we do that. And
I think my next project, you might join me on this one, but we're gonna review the spin-off, The Legend of Korra.
Yes.
And yeah,
you can look forward to that as well. We'll see you guys next time.